Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside, a podcast about whatever the hell I want it to be about, and we mainly do comments on this one. So today is a day, like all days. How are you?
I'm generally fine. I didn't get to introduce myself.
Oh yeah, that's Luke.
Yeah, and you're Mary.
Oh, am I?
Yeah,
what?
There are other names I use sometimes, but
no,
let's
it's
not get into
been
that.
kind of, it's been a weird weekend, to say the least. I'm a bit sad by world events, and I have not been getting the best sleep.
No.
Because of, well, you might be able to hear him in this podcast this time, because he's being a bit of a menace today. A lovely menace, but that's because of Gilgamesh and Mr. Baby.
The cats.
Yeah, my children. Because Mr. Baby will wake us up in the middle of the night and be like, meow. Mm-hmm. It's either he wants a drink of water, or he just wants to look at us while we are looking at him, and then he just leaves and goes back to sleep.
Yeah, he just wants acknowledgement.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, my baby. And Thorborg will just jump on me literally like a fox. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those videos of foxes in the snow, where they do that little cat butt thing, right? And then all of a sudden they jump up and then they jump into the snow. I know Thorborg doesn't actually do that, but it sure does feel like it. But yeah, that's been my weekend. Obviously, this is not a news program, but do you have any news today?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
If I do, I've forgotten it. So
yeah. Let's start with some of the comments.
Yeah, so these are the comments on the last episode of Totally Schway, where you shared your thoughts about what we said about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
From Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
I don't know if I actually got this across, but I really freaking love Wonder Woman.
Might have hinted at it, maybe just a little.
Out of all of the superheroes, I think Wonder Woman is the one that I just adore, just for the sake of her being Wonder Woman. And I think I say that at least, I don't know, once every 6 months to myself. I'm like, you know what, girl? It's fine. I'm the only person that can call me girl, by the way. It's fine. You could say it. Say it out loud. It's like, I love Wonder Woman.
And there you go. It's on the record now.
Yeah.
All right. So the first comment we got was from Zain Mudassir 2964, who says Wonder Woman is a feminist icon, and then does that bicep flex emoji. And yes, you're completely right, Zain.
Yeah.
And thank you for your comment.
Word.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Next we have Northman H2W, new commenter as well, I think, possibly.
Hello.
Who asks, are you happy Two-Face is going to be in the film coming soon, and have guesses who Scarlett Johansson is going to play? Well.
Can I say something? Scarlett Johansson can play whoever the hell she wants to. And I'm still going to watch it.
I can exclusively reveal who she's going to play. Alfred. No, she's not.
I thought she was going to play, Veronica or something, but I don't know if they're going to go like that.
No, apparently she's playing Gilda Dent, who is Harvey Dent's wife.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see that.
And Sebastian Stan is supposed to have been cast as Harvey Dent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Apparently Brad Pitt turned down the role of Harvey Dent's father in the film. The Fool.
Because I'm going to say this. It's most likely because he doesn't want to feel old.
Yeah, but he's in his 60s. He's going to have to accept that he's not young.
But he's only started to look about 45.
Oh, I think he looks older than that.
I don't know. I don't really go looking for pictures of Brad Pitt, if I'm being honest. I still see him as a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. I mean, it's probably easy to maintain your youth when you've got more money than God. Anyway, we're going to move on to the tome of Big Mikey P, who says...
Good morning, Michael!
Yes, Michael Andre Parlon, who says, scripts are like spoons, spoons are like scripts, there are none here. Wonder Woman, sorry, she's not a big favourite of mine when compared to Batman, Superman and The Flash, and even Marvel's Captain America, whose movie's still far better than Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman films. And characters like Batgirl, Hawkgirl and even She-Bang are far more interesting in the DCAU, at least in my opinion. 6:51. Actually, Serum Lake. Oh, here we go. Someone's actuallying me. All right, here we go.
He's doing that on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's being funny.
There were already pre-December the 7th, 1941, US volunteers units fighting the Axis during, say, the Battle of Britain and the Battle of the Atlantic. Yes, I am very well aware, thank you, but I was talking about when they officially joined the war. I think that's actually what I said, but anyway.
I zoned out a little bit.
Yeah. Meantime, since I also count them as Americans, there's the gosh darn awesome Canadian Armed Forces.
Oh, yeah.
Who proudly serve the thine Commonwealth. Well, they're not American. They're not from the United States.
We
they're
love
Canadian.
Canada.
That's actually a very topical thing you bring up in relation to world events, as Mary was alluding to earlier.
We love Canada.
Canadians are not Americans, no matter how much.
Exactly.
Some people might wish that was the case.
If I could be a Canadian, I would. Just imagine me saying, "Oh yeah, I'm from Toronto." Mm-hmm. How cool would that be?
Oh, here we go. And sorry, but DEI has become a negative connotation ever since the scandalous Sweet Baby Inc. nonsense. Best to get rid of the word altogether alongside woke. Well, you see, that's exactly what these far right-wing doofuses do. They take something that's positive and inclusive and generally a very good thing, and they try to associate it with bad things. Even that whole concept of Sweet Baby Inc. was absolutely blown out of proportion. Like, I'm not even going to get into it because it's frankly, if you're like really upset about that kind of thing, it is indicative of a smooth brain.
And then you could tell me about it off the podcast.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's basically just advisors to make sure that video game companies weren't like unintentionally sexist or racist or homophobic. That's literally all it is. People acted like they were like taking whole scripts and tearing them and go, no, put more women in. Put women into positions of power.
I tell you what, if you don't like people doing that, like putting like stuff like people of color or more women or more queer people, I'm just going to be honest with you because I'm a bit fed up today. Reading the news last night was awful, and if you guys are, I'm not saying this about you, Big Mikey P, but I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not okay to not be inclusive.
Yeah, it's not.
We were a very strict place. Well, I'm coming from like an American thing. I can only speak about like American in England, and you know, it's time to just live in a world where anybody has a chance to do anything that they dream up, as long as it's not hurting anyone. And things like DEI and being inclusive and having good diversity is not a bad thing.
No, and I'll just quickly interject on the DEI thing. There's a very common misconception that is floated around by, frankly, dimwits, saying that DEI means that people get the job because of the colour of their skin, not the quality of their character or their experience. But that isn't the case at all. It's ensuring that people of colour with the experience and with the quality of character are allowed through the door to be interviewed and to take part, rather than being held at the door because, they've got an exotic sounding name or they don't look the same as me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And anyone that says otherwise, well, you can just tell immediately.
The thing is, with Luke and I as well, we have family that are people of color. We have people in our family that are from different countries. We have different backgrounds and all of that.
You're from a different country.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that should be celebrated.
Yeah, it should be.
And I think in a time, I'm not sorry that I'm talking about this because I'm pissed off today. And I've been trying all morning to not be pissed off about what is happening in the world. I can't be specific about it because it's not just in one place. This snowstorm is really taking control. I'm trying to be funny, but
I know.
It's just pissing me off because there are people in my family and people that I have been friends with and am friends with in this world that have had a really, really hard time just because they were born. And it's not okay that I can walk into a place right now, you know, in some companies and be like, okay, I'm a beauty therapist, but I haven't worked a beauty therapist job in like 12, 13 years. I worked at blah, 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 blah. And I like Marvis toothpaste. Don't know why that's important, but it's important to me. And they're like, oh, so you're hired. And it's like, well, what about all of the people that were here before me, you know? And I know some people might get pissed off about this. I might lose subscribers, but to be honest with you, the core people that listen to this podcast, I love very much, and totally, even if they disagree with something I say, they can hear me out. And just like with me, I hear people out, and I'm just so tired of living in a world where I feel like I can't turn on the news or put on you know, the you know, BBC or something. Like as in, like, when I say turn on the news, what I mean is go on the website, because I don't watch live news.
Yeah, and I'm personally very fed up of bad faith arguments.
And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I am so fed up of the Beckhams.
Yeah, oh my God. Like, literally, whenever there's a disaster, like, the mainstream media is like, quick, roll out another story about the Beckhams to take attention away from that. It was almost comical. It's to the point now that they're even referencing it themselves.
And whatever that show's called, with Alan Carr.
The Traitors.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I'm sure it's fun because, you know, the BBC does produce pretty good stuff, but... You know what I wanted to hear about yesterday and today? The snowstorm. You know, I wanted to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are also people that want to be distracted from all the awful stuff that's going on, and, you know, that's a fair enough reaction, and maybe they are now hyper-invested in what Brooklyn Beckham, or whatever his name is now, sorry, because I know he's also taken on his wife's surname, which is fair enough.
I think that's cool.
Yep, it's fair enough, he can do what he wants.
But you want to know the main thing that I wanted to ask in this podcast?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to ask how Lowell's doing. And
it's coming up. They're coming
I know,
up.
but I'm talking about in the snowstorm. Because I actually know the states that they live in. So I guess there's another person, but I don't know if he is vocal about where he lives. But I could always ask him privately.
So I think I should just carry on with this comment, because I think we spent the last 5 minutes just...
Anyways, okay, sorry. If you guys want to unsubscribe, that's fine. But if not,
fine.
We'll talk more about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, anyway, back to what Big Mikey P says. And he says, I like to prefer Wonder Woman got her Justice League Unlimited era Invisible Jet from an off-screen event of an Unmade Worlds Collide movie. Anyone reads its script from Dwayne McDuffie's website, which has become Crisis on Two Earths. Smart decision making, Wonder Woman. Get the last hurrah against Mongol on for the man who has everything. Works better than having Robin, Jason Todd in the original Alan Moore comic, and the Bat embargo probably and conveniently prevented the utilisation of Tim Drake. Do the deed. Will not lie. Batman cross Wonder Woman works, surprisingly works, but of course Batman Beyond canon has to be adhered to the end. Can't have another Joe March x Laurie Lawrence debacle. Still is curious not having the usual Steve Trevor is downed in Themyscira plotline in DCAU. Regardless, his 3-episode arc in the Justice League show is way better than what happened to him in the immoral romance of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That was problematic, wasn't it?
I very much agree with you.
I mean, I imagine that guy whose body was taken over probably wasn't too unhappy about it, but it's still bad. Agent Peggy Carter is more fascinating, though. Really, Bruce Timm's way of drawing women is loads better than what X-Men Spider-Man and the Exo Squad does. They signify beauty, grace, and a sense of dancer's wholesomeness, because I can't find the right terminology. Well, there's a change. Which, while those Haim Saban cartoons uncomfortably look like, yes, roid implants. And speaking of cup sizes, sheepishly, you should see anime characters like Madoka Magica's Mami Tomo and Uma Musume's Daiwai Scarlet.
Believe me, I do
Daiwa
see
Scarlet,
them.
excuse me.
Because YouTube, by the way, the reason why Luke said that is because Gilly's trying to help by moving stuff on the keyboard.
No, he's trying to drink my water.
I do know about the cup sizes on the anime, people, because YouTube Shorts keeps putting me that. Although I think I've only looked up one anime because my... two of my nieces happened to watch this one, and I did that one time, and that was about 2 years ago, and now on my YouTube Shorts, it's like anime. And I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. It's just, why can't I get back to the clean talk? Well, because it's not on TikTok, but yeah.
To continue the comment, Hades ain't an evil god. The DCAU and otherwise great Disney's Hercules movie got that wrong. Sounds like some Roman revisionism to me. Clay people are nay. Super Soldier program progeny like Terry McGinnis is yay. No mention of the weirdly interesting Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl conversation about the former never sweating and instead she glows. Personal book recap.
Because I'm jealous.
Yeah, personal book recap. I've finished reading The Hunt for Red October and have proceeded next to the spy worker laser weapon centric The Cardinal of the Kremlin. Still continuing to Red Storm Rising. The The Maskirovka assigned war there has begun. And have just finished the Dance of the Vampires chapter. I'm really tripping over my words today. Bridge of Terabithia is finished too. A sad book, but one to be fond of reminiscing by.
Yeah.
Might have to see the personal library if I also have other Catherine Peterson novels. Movie adaptation binge will wait. I've also finished Dune, and it's still peak regardless if it's a doorstopper. Now at the Paul Musaad-Dib continuation conclusion Dune Messiah. I've read the BFG by Roald Dahl. No plans to watch any movie adaptation. Yeah, you should track down I think it was an 80s, possibly early 90s animated version with David Jason as the BFG. That was actually quite good from what I recall. Fun book still with surprising morbidity at places. I mean, that's just Roald Dahl in general. Not now at that much more relatable Matilda, a book that I rank among the most spectacular titles in the personal library, and the Danny DeVito movie adaptation is also among my favourites too, which says a lot. Bold to say it's ranked way higher than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. TV show recap. Oh, good. Have got past Aria the Naturals episode 19 and 20. In a nutshell, fave character Acre S. Granchester has embraced her new short haircut, complete with companions loving it too, and the main girl, Akari Mizunashi, had quite an evil ghost lady encounter. We'll proceed to episode 21, which features the Galactic Railroad onwards. Taking a break from Red vs. Blue season 12 after proudly finishing again on season 11. Meantime, I'm pondering on starting to watch its more ambitious spiritual successor web series Crash. Still at Madoka Magica Scene 0 fan-made English subbed video binging. Have also seen to the humble but satisfying season 2 premiere of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Can't unsee it on social media every day lately. Oh Lord, this is still going okay. Movie recap. Okay. Have finally seen Night on the Galactic Railroad. Good movie, but some may not understand its long moodiness. Scarce chords, ironically. It's not a horror movie. Or scare chords, excuse me. Ironically, it's not a horror movie, but it does have existential crises and philosophia based on Buddhism, Christianity, the Titanic, New World Symphonies, and astronomy, which is also in its book version. New Year 2026 has brought up another surprise announcement. Apparently the Godzilla -1 sequels -0 may come out in November. Might have to change those Denis Villeneuve's Dune Messiah plans if that's the case. Assorted recap: bought some organic honey for consumption with gift money gained from Christmas and the New Year's Eve celebrations. I'm using it as a viable sugar substitute in coffee and chocolate drinks. It also makes for a sandwich spread in spares, and as a supplement spoonful after every breakfast, lunch and dinner. Poison Ivy next week will await again, though you guys may want a lesson mentioning its overhyped DCAU Harley Quinn relationship. Nah, it's going to be all about that. That's all I'm going to talk about.
By the way, honey is amazing, especially local honey.
Yeah,
especially if you're sorry if I interrupted you.
We're going to say the same thing, I'm sure.
Because I have a ton of allergies, because I'm a millennial that was born in the 1900s. I tend to have a lot of allergies and a lot of skin allergies too. And honey actually, I don't know if this is a scientific thing, but it does help. It has helped me significantly with some of my allergies, my more hay fever and stuff like that. I feel as if they're not intense, whether that's placebo or not. I don't care.
Yes, thank you for your novel, Big Mikey P. We'll sure to add it to the collection, and one day it will be published, right?
Yes.
All right, next we have RJ Productions, who says, "Bruh, Wonder Woman is such a badass. I wish the daughter could come back with her own show. Honestly, while I don't consider Wonder Woman underrated, she tends to be so overlooked and people are way too comfortable making mature content. She has more going on than just a sex symbol for weirdos to thirst after. I think she should be played by Lauren Lavera, Sienna Shaw herself, as she's the right age, and she's good at playing a feminine badass archetype. Lauren even looks like Wonder Woman when dressed as the Angel Warrior in The Terrifier 2. Alright, now on to the story. A different side to him, a Lex Luthor x Mercy Graves fanfiction, Chapter 4, from Lex's POV. My head throned from the car accident and now made worse by Lana's wailing. Mercy entered the living room looking all flustered. "Are you all right?" I asked her when I noticed her flushed cheeks. "Yeah, I'm fine," murmured Mercy as she sat on the sofa. "That Lana is such a crybaby." "I know, right?" I replied. "I'm so embarrassed that Clark and I used to fight over her." We both chuckled and I rested my head back and exhaled. "Would you like a drink?" I asked Mercy, who looked surprised, but then she nodded and I got up to put on the kettle. From Mercy's POV, I was taken aback by Lex's offer. He never offered to make anything, let alone a drink, to anyone. Could this mean he really likes me, I think to myself, but then I shake off the thought. No, I'm Lex's bodyguard, nothing more. He left me to die in a crumbling building caused by Brainiac, for heaven's sake. Suddenly a lump formed in my throat and my eyes started to glisten with tears. "There's nothing more to him," I murmured to myself. "I should stop looking." Suddenly Lex entered and I quickly swallowed the lump and wiped my tears. "Hey, Mercy," began Lex. "I forgot to ask if you'd like tea or coffee," and I just wanted to ask. But then his sentence trailed off. From Lex's POV, I noticed Mercy wipe her face and instinctively asked, "Are you okay?" to which I internally slapped myself for even caring. She's my bodyguard and I'm heartless billionaire. I tell myself there's nothing more to me, but the inner monologue was interrupted by Mercy starting to cry. Oh, damn it, she's crying, I think to myself, before kneeling down to Mercy's level. "Hey, why are you crying?" I ask, trying to mask my tender tone with firm authority. "Nothing, Lex, don't worry," murmured Mercy as she wiped her face and sniffed some more. I didn't know what to do, so I firmly patted Lex's arm and said dismissively, "Good, now tell me what drink you would like." Can I just have some water?" asked Mercy weakly. I nodded and Weber back into the kitchen to get a glass. I assume that's an autocorrect thing. I couldn't let my guard down around Mercy. The last time I'd done that, it was with Lana, and she made a fool out of me. From Clark's POV, I wandered into the Daily Planet expecting Lois to wait by my desk and bag at me for being late, but the colour drained from my face when I saw none other than Lana Lang, my ex-girlfriend and ex-friend. "Clarky poo," Lana shrieked as she rushed at me and tackled me in a crushing embrace. "I've missed you." I awkwardly patted her on the back and replied half-heartedly, "Yeah, it's great to see you here. What brings you to Metropolis?" Lana released me and bounced up and down. "I came to visit you and Lexi Poo," she squawked. Squadded. I think he's written squadded, but I wonder if it's squawked. Probably squawked, actually, yeah. "But Lex didn't want me around because he's replaced me with that driver of his." I tried stifling a laugh. "You mean Mercy?" "I mean, I never pictured them having that kind of relationship," I replied. Then I internally sighed with relief when I heard a familiar voice call, "Hey, Smallville, stop chatting up the girls and come do your job." "Coming, Lois," I called, trying to hide my relief. "Sorry, Lana, I've got to go." And with that, I sped off before Lana could say a word. I like her, but she could be way too clingy and possessive. Thank you for your comment, Harry.
Thank you. By the way, when, Lois is just boss no matter what, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She could tell Clark to do anything and he'd be like, "When?" Love it. And the tea and coffee thing. Can I be honest here? I forget to when we have company, which isn't very often because I'm awkward. I always forget to ask if they want tea or coffee because I don't know why. I just I know it's quite an English thing, but I'm like, "Oh, do you want a Diet Coke, a sparkling water, maybe a cherry 7-Up?" All zero, by the way. And sometimes I ask if they want a Fentimans if I'm being really nice. Because I love Fentimans.
All right, on to the next comment from Lowell Lucas Jr., who says, "All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess in your satin tights, fighting for your rights and the old red, white and blue." Now, he's continuing with the Wonder Woman song. Now the world is ready for you and the wonders you can do. Make a hawk and dove, stop a war with love, make a liar tell the truth. I hope they're enjoying my
Do you see what I'm
wonderful
wearing
singing.
today, by the way?
No.
I'm wearing my active set in like a satiny superhero thing. Feel it.
Yep, this is
You didn't
perfect
feel it.
for a non-visible podcast. Yeah, I had to switch hands,
Yeah.
Mary, because I couldn't reach with...
How dare you not have longer hands? Longer
Arms,
arms? Hands? Whatever.
Anyway, he continues with the rest of the song, but I'm just going to say it now. Get us out from under, Wonder Woman. All our hopes are pinned on you and the magic that you do. Stop a bullet cold, make the Axis fall, change their minds and change the world. You're a Wonder Woman. Hello, y'all, and happy holidays to you all. I'm glad to hear from Mary because I thought she was a holiday gift-giving ghost that only comes out at night with her pesky holiday kitty Gilgamesh. They occasionally team up and the goddamn Luke Man to store his massive comic collection in the dusty collector cave. Yeah. So today we discuss the Amazon who's got it going on, the lovely Wonder Woman. Whether she's Brazilian, Greek, black, white, or even a warrior from hell, she instills hope, courageousness, and looks incredibly fine while sipping wine. While she takes crap from no one, she can be forgiving at times. Just don't become her enemy, or you won't be walking right for till they totally Schway. I really hope she someday gets an animated series as Bat, Soups, and even fourth tier alumni Harley all got fully fledged series compared to our favourite Amazon. It's not like she doesn't have a well of great stories to draw from. Gives us her funny, epic stories like the George Perez run, the Adam Hughes Dodson cover-filled 2000 stories, and beautifully illustrated Black Label editions, and definitely include tales where Ares was a prominent threat. Unlike those terrible Tom King stories that stand as a cautionary tale to avoid. I would say her girl power moment from the 60s and 70s, but those writers tried to make something positive with the right intentions. To me, Ares, with the Annihilator armor and the Hades stories, stand out as some great stories for our dear Diana. But then again, hearing Batman sing "Am I Blue" to free her from her piggy curse was also magnificent. Maybe I'm just a sucker for her Greek mythology background, but I'm all here for it. Also, I enjoy Wonder Woman's bubble butt and her sky-high legs. Okay.
Don't we all?
Just the style of the artists. But for the museum-quality Wonder Woman, check out Frank Cho and Adam Hughes versions. Cho draws upon her Greek background with beautiful statuesque framing, while Hughes draws an Amazonian in action. They both draw her realistic and just plain epic. Also, Perez and Bolland rock. But till then, true believers, I'm finishing up my latest entry for issue 2 of the comic I'm working on. I'm going to make sure to post more frequently on Facebook as my New Year's resolution.
Which I've been following.
However, I still have to recover from working these 6-10-hour work weeks. Been doing it since December, and now this Grinch needs his rest before the Who's come back.
Yeah. So, I haven't done any videos recently other than the advent calendar. Because to be honest with you, the advent calendar stuff did take a lot out of me. But with my new job, I still say new even though I've had it for...
over a year.
Yeah. It does take a lot out of me, but also... it sounds like I'm just giving a ton of excuses. Like the last 6 months of last year, I had a bit of a not a health turn, but some problems that I have had in the past kind of came back, and then I had the throat thing. And for anyone who has an autoimmune disease, you probably know that it just kicks you. Like, you'll get so excited about something and you'll have like all of these plans and you're excited to do stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't speak, or oh, I physically can't do much because, you know, so and so and so and so. So I apologize for that, and I really, really appreciate you guys sticking around for the podcast. I can't promise that there's going to be like, because I thought I was going to do a video about the Christmas comments, but I think I it's too late for that. But if there's anything that you guys want to see where it's like I show my face or anything like that, or if I talk about like what I've been reading, because Big Mikey P and I have been reading a lot. Mm-hmm. Not the same books though, which is awesome. But if you guys ever just want me to talk about that, because I have been reading comic themed books like Fogtown, which was brilliant. Mm-hmm. There's another one that I'm going to be reading, Big Rig.
Yeah.
And then I still haven't read, there's a book Luke got me just before Christmas that it's a comic. I think it's a one-off comic thing. I'm going to be reading that. So, yeah, I apologize for that, but it's an explanation. I'm not trying to do excuses, but I just want to try to be more honest with myself and more realistic with myself this year. Because this year, if I do a video, I want to work a long time on it and actually just like make it the best that I can. And if I can bring out like several of those this year, I will, because you guys are awesome.
All right. Next, we have a comment from Alexandra Fox. I hope I've said your name correctly, and I apologise if I haven't. Even though DCAU Wonder Woman and the 2009 animated film were my introduction to the character, as I got into her comics, in particular the 80s George Perez and 2000 Greg Rucka run, I began to see how overrated those adaptations were, as well responsible for creating tropes that sadly were adapted in other media. Example, Diana being a bit more aggressive and serious, her being a daughter of a male god rather than a child created from clay, she's running away from Themyscira rather than being chosen by the Amazons to be an ambassador, the lack of supporting cast for her except the love interest like Steve Trevor, etc. Compared to those shows, the comics, despite their inconsistencies, are more complex, portraying Diana usually as this gentle, selfless princess who gives up her life in Paradise Island to represent her people in a very morally grey world that constantly challenges her initial black and white view of things. Her stories aren't just about man versus woman commentary. It had this, but it's not the only focus. They also dealt with topics like faith, identity, self-worth, destiny, and belief. Very true. Very true. I recently picked up the entire George Perez run, and admittedly, I read much of it. Probably,
I thought you were reading his comment, and then all of a sudden I was like, you did that.
Yeah. No, I read much of it must have been about 30 years ago. I had a couple of little gaps early on. But then I've plugged them. I've got like the first 100 issues now, with a couple of little gaps here and there. But I've been meaning to pick those up and actually read them, but I spend so much time working on stuff that don't have a lot of free time. But from what I recall, yes, you're right. She was a more well-rounded character, more fleshed out, and I guess that's the benefit of being the star of her books rather than Justice League, where she is a team member. And I can understand why they changed her origin for the cartoon, because it was simpler and it got her out of Themyscira quicker. And also it kind of set up a kind of isolationist take on Themyscira, which I'm not going to say is more interesting. I think it just kind of lends itself to different types of stories. Rather than them choosing to send an ambassador out to try and make the world better, they're kind of shying away from it.
This is so cool, because this is talking about comic books and the same character but different eras of them, and it's such a good conversation because I love hearing about the different eras of comic book characters if they have a different era, and it's not like I really really hate this type of thing that I see online sometimes, which is one of the reasons I really love this podcast, like doing this podcast so much, is because I get to hear you guys talk about the things that you like, and then I get to be like, oh, I'm gonna look those up. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. It's really cool. It really puts a lot of joy in my heart.
Yeah.
And I've needed that today.
Yeah, I agree. But yes, thank you for your comment. Next we have Doc Widener, who says, thank goodness you're here.
Well, thank goodness you're here.
New phone, same model, about 4 years old, but charging was not working, so since I had the maintenance plan, $5 for a new phone.
Ooh, nice.
Was supposed to copy everything over, but my notes seemed to be missing, and the usual hassle of logging back into everything. It's pretty looking out of the window today. Some snow, though lots of grass still visible and small flakes gently falling. Working on some pancakes and bacon. Man, I'm hungry now. Trying a new bacon method, an old Foreman grill. Curious about the results. Initial downside being I start is its size. Might help with portion control, though. Wonder Woman. Wait, comics have a tradition of anti-fascism. Oh no. Always like the #JLess version of Wonder Woman. In regards to romance, I always thought they coded her as bisexual, especially in Maid of Honor episodes. Potentially. I mean, if you come from a society that is exclusively female and there are no males at all, then yeah, it's likely, yes. I'm glad you enjoyed Strands. I sometimes think I have mild undiagnosed OCD. Every day I play Wordle, Connection, Strands, and mini crossword and Pips. I say mild OCD because I don't have a perfect streak of playing some of them. I knock out Wordle first, then usually Connections. I assume everyone knows Wordle. I know Wordle, but I've never actually played it.
Same. I'm more of like a crossword. What is that one where you do the line where it says like super, but it's going like diagonally or something like that?
Yeah, it's part of a word search.
Yeah, word search. My mom is a big word search and crossword fan.
I lost my place. Everyone knows Wordle. Oh yes, that's right. Connections is a 4x4 grid. Usually it is words. Even every great one, once in a while, they have used symbols. The goal is to find 4 of the words that share a connection, and they will be sorted into the top. Each solved line is colour-coded. Yellow is the easiest, then green, then blue, and purple is supposed to be the hardest, though I sometimes wonder about the difficulty grades. Possibly because, for old man me, a yellow pop culture category of new musicians is purple, while the blue list of 70s and 80s musical acts with only A's for vowels is yellow to me. Bananarama, Kansas, Alabama, Santana. Mini crosswords.
Yeah, good band.
Mini crossword is what it sounds like. I don't have time to do the full one and hate leaving things unfinished. Used to do the full one when I had a paper copy. Pips is the newest game and is more math-based. You are given a set of dominoes and a grid to place them on with restrictions for the values. So one square may have the value, must be 4, and the next set of squares that the value must be greater than 10. So you need to use a domino with 4 on one side, and the other side has to be enough that the other squares will add up to at least 11. I have bacon results and almost burned some other because I was typing too much. We'll send Mary pictures. Yeah. It works. If you use aluminium foil for it is slow, but bacon is flatter. If you don't, it's faster, but more like what you get shape-wise from a skillet. Did the rest in the oven. I like crisp bacon, although almost but not quite burnt. So the grill works slow, but from a portion control standpoint would do wonders. If making for more than me, not so much. Have a good week, everyone.
You too. So I'll talk about bacon for a moment.
Oh, here we go.
I think Doc and I like the same sort of bacon. Very crispy, almost burnt. Unfortunately, here in England, we don't have a ton of turkey bacon options. So I love our turkey bacon, though. I'm just going to say that. But I miss crispy turkey bacon, which I've only ever had once at IHOP or Denny's. I can't remember which one it was. My brother took me there in 2015. So if you're listening, Charles, what was it? And I almost said tip back because it looked too much like pork bacon. I asked the waitress, I was like, oh, I ordered turkey bacon. She was like, sweetheart, that is turkey bacon. I'll always remember her accent because I'm like, I loved it. So yeah, that's my bacon talk.
Good. Is that going to become a regular segment?
Probably not. Because everybody else probably cooks bacon better than I do.
I'm going to move on to the next comment now, which is from Ryan Jones. He says, hello, Luke and Mary. He said he's doing good, by the way. Can you and Mary do a Charlie Collins impression when he said to the Joker, say goodnight, Gracie? Oh, we can try. Say goodnight, Gracie!
Say goodnight, Gracie!
Close enough.
Yeah, I can't do a lot of good impressions.
Yeah.
Unless it's Deputy Director Bullock.
Zooby.
You knew which one I was gonna do too, because y'all can't see it obviously, but I'm just like doing zooby.
Yeah, do you know zoob, and that is a rude word in Arabic slang.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Can you bleep it?
No, because we're not speaking Arabic, Mary. We don't need to bleep it.
Okay.
Goodness.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
You wouldn't, because they'd understand the context that you're not speaking Arabic. Like, we're not suddenly just fluent in Arabic slang, you know?
Although that would be cool. Not just the slang, just be fluent in Arabic.
I mean, it would be cool to become fluent in languages on the fly. That would be great. Very useful. Anyway, I've completely lost my place in this comment. It was Good Night Gracie, wasn't it?
Good night.
So Ryan continues by saying, Wonder Woman is one of the best female superheroes in my opinion. If there is one missed opportunity in the DCAU, that will be not having a Flash show. There is one question that I have kept forgetting to ask you, Mary. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the British TV show known as Bullseye?
Yes.
Here's what you could have won, Mary. The reason I'm asking is because I have got pyjamas of Bullseye, and there is a revival of the show recently. Okay.
There's a revival?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they bring it back every now and
starts,
then.
isn't it?
Yeah, it starts.
Yeah. I was like, I am thinking the same thing, yeah. That's one of the first things that when I was watching, I don't even know what I was looking up because I was trying to find, was it Jam? Online? And, like, it popped up, and me being me, I was like, oh, okay. Like that, within 5 minutes, I was like, I cannot throw anything that straight.
Yeah, so for anyone that didn't grow up in Britain in the 80s and early 90s, Bullseye is a game show where contestants team up with someone who plays darts, and then you kind of throw the dart at the board to determine your question and how many points you're going to get for it. It translates to money, and it's famous for having like kind of naff prizes, like, you know, here is a Filofax, here is a toaster. And the presenter Jim Bowen was a British comedian, kind of fallen out of favour, that style of comedy, because some of it is actually pretty racist now, but in the 70s and particularly early 80s it was kind of deemed as acceptable. But anyway, Ryan's comment will continue saying, by the way, Luke, what is the mute button? Is it for blocking bad comments? I mean, yes, so essentially YouTube doesn't let you block people from your channel, but what you can do is you just mute them, and what that does, it allows them to watch. They can still leave comments, but no one else will see it. They're the only ones that can see it.
I do that in very, 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 very rare cases. Like, I think at one point there was a person that kept saying the F slur. Mm-hmm. But I don't even see that person on there anymore, so they might have had their account taken away, probably. And then recently, I put a new word. I didn't mute. No, I did mute somebody because he kept trying to egg me. Yeah,
it's a curious behaviour where someone who is, you know, they describe themselves as being very religious and therefore anti-homosexuality, but then they keep seeking out homosexual content.
Yeah, and the thing is, there are a lot of people that are Christian that accept, you know, other things that aren't in the Bible and everything. And why is it just that person that is being negative? And it's not just a one-time thing. It was like they would specifically go back to the X-Men stuff that we did. Oh, yes. And telling us to change our sinful ways and accept Christ. And my response to that was, I'm not going to say it because it's rude. No, but my problem is there are so many people that have like a good faith and they're very like religious and everything, but they still love people and honor people and stuff like that. Whereas this person was misquoting the Bible, for one, and two, they were just being hateful. And every person that I've met that has been like, I guess, quote unquote, a good Christian or just a good, decent person just loves, and they don't care if you're gay or straight. They just care that you're happy, healthy, and whatever you decide to do in life is going to help other people in the long run too. And this person was just being awful, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah, I know. I mean, something I like to point out to them when they start quoting Leviticus is I'll quote some other rules from Leviticus that are frankly absurd, and they had better be following as well, otherwise they're massive hypocrites. Things like, you know, you're not allowed to trim your facial hair.
I don't think I want to see that on me.
You're not allowed to wear mixed fabrics. You're not allowed to eat shellfish. Don't eat pork, that kind of stuff. So if they've ever had a bacon sandwich while wearing a polyester shirt, and after coming from the barber shop and having a fresh shave, then they're massive hypocrites. I mean, I know that some of them turn around and go, well, Paul sent a letter that said that we don't have to follow all of the rules of the Old Testament. We can just follow the major ones, and this is one of the major ones for us. And well, that's just picking and choosing, and it's hypocrisy. Either you follow it or you don't.
So one of the first people I met here in England was a vicar, and I was kind of nervous to meet them because of who I am. I'm very unapologetic about loving who I love, and there comes a point in time in your life, especially in your 20s, where you're just like, oh, come on, the rest of the world, if I'm bisexual or not or whatever, who cares what the rest of the world thinks? And I was kind of like that, but I was still honest about it. And you know what? I mentioned it once. He didn't say anything negative. He was talking about how much I love Luke and how much I loved his family and all of that. And to me, I loved that. And he is still one of my favorite people, although I've lost contact because he moved to, what's the above a bit vicar? Whatever that's called.
I don't know. He's moved up in the Church of England.
Yeah. And he was really great. It's because he was an awesome guy. Well, he still is an awesome guy, in my opinion, but not if someone who has a job in the church and who is very faith-based in life can teach their people to love just because love is something that is beautiful and everybody deserves it, then why is this person in the comments trying to make me feel bad and trying to get me to freak out when I would just calmly say that? And I was just getting a bit fed up because other people don't need to see that.
I'll tell you why. It's because he's a hateful little goblin and now he's in the bin.
At least he's not a puppet.
Well, he might be a puppet account. Anyway, I think we should move on from this topic and get to the next comment, because we're 45 minutes in and I haven't even got most of the way through the comments. I think just over halfway. Right, so we have David Carney, who says, "Hi Mary and Luke, absolutely love Wonder Woman from the Absolute Universe to the mainline to the DCAU. My top 3 favourite comic artists during Wonder Woman are George Perez, Jim Lee and Hayden Sherman. Have a good week all."
You too.
Yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman's really good. Mary expressed interest in getting the hardcover. And I said, I've got all the issues. And she's like, well, no, I don't. I want to read a book, not individual comics.
Yeah, because I'll read on my Kindle quite a bit. Well, not since before Christmas, but I also just really like the way the hardbacks look. And if I like it, I'll buy it in a different color.
Mm-hmm. But yes, thank you for your comment, David. Hope you had a good week and continue to have one. Mm-hmm. Next, we have everybody's favourite one and only Cucumber, who says, "Wonderful." I wonder if that was supposed to be wonderful and it's just a typo.
I like wonderful. I don't know what it means, it too. But I'm going to put a meaning to it, saying wonderful, beautiful.
Anyway, it's been a long time since I've done a long comment. This isn't long, trust me. Honestly, Hereafter is among my favourite episodes. If I ever get kidnapped, I plan on winning through outliving my captors. Honestly, I've always shipped Lex Luthor and Brainiac because they're both bald. In personal news, he writes in caps. Currently, my cat William is upon my lap. Sodden from the rain. Oh no, remember there's always a risk of it.
Hello, William.
I have been working on 100%ing Risk of Rain 2. I am not surviving Eclipse 8. Salute emoji. I've moved off of Windows and onto Linux. Took a bit to set everything up. It's shockingly easy, albeit sort of esoteric. Anyway, I've lost 50% of my stuff, including all of my Voices of the Void save data, amazing game, play it, which I forgot to move, various memes, and I have to sign into some stuff. There's also a couple of workarounds I've been doing to get stuff to work. I've had to run a downloader in Proton, Steam Linux window compatibility tool, then run the application in Proton too. Anyways, all that to say, I'd rather eat a lemon than learn command line input. As per usual, completely and utterly Schway.
Schway. Oh, I feel you on losing the game save stuff, because I had a copy of Super Mario World, and every time I got to a certain point and I turned it off, it would erase everything.
Yeah, I think the problem was with like the internal battery for the cartridge, wasn't it?
The little, yeah.
Like it would hold save data for a little while, and then like the battery would just die. 15
years I played that. Still, Turbo number 2, or Tubular number 2, I think is the one.
Do you remember we sat down and played that for like 3 hours?
Yeah.
I swear to God. But you've got a digital copy of it now anyway, but I guess it's not really the same, is it?
PTSD.
Anyway, Nightwing Man 666 says, Superman tries to be an example to follow. Batman makes criminals afraid. Wonder Woman, unlike the other two, is a warrior born. She comes from a society that lives to fight and die, and in many instances when blood needs shedding, she's the one to make the call to do so, no matter how ugly it is. She knows the necessity, and many times she's come close to doing the deed, such as Toyman in Hereafter. But she tries to find a better way. In many ways, she's in the same category as Orion, but unlike Orion, Wonder Woman uses it as a last resort. Orion, it's his only resort. Yes, I think everything you've said there is fair.
Orion.
Why are you laughing about Orion? Shut up. When I met Alan Burnett, I was talking to him about Gods and Monsters and asked him about, it ended on like an open ending with space for a sequel, and asked him, did you have any plans or any ideas about what you could be doing? And he just said no. And we were talking about sorry, Cat is rubbing up against the microphone, don't know if you will hear that. But we were talking about the use of the characters and the origins they came up for them, and he said that he felt that Becca's origin was the best one by far. I agreed with him, and I said I actually got weirdly emotional watching Orion being betrayed and murdered, and Kevin Altieri popped his head up and he went, Orion! Like that. And I was like, what can I say? I'm sorry. It was just moving and effectual. I'm sorry, Kevin. And they laughed at me, but anyway.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they are. They're very nice.
They really are.
Yes, they are. But yes, thank you for your comment, Nightwing Man. I'm going to move on to the next one. So I have to preface this by saying that we have some sad news from the chicken update. There is another comment after this, so I'm going to save those for afterwards in the hopes of lifting spirits a little bit. But Screen Wipers chicken news from Thursday.
If something's happened to Mabel, just tell me to leave the room.
Just let me read. The chicken news from Thursday the 22nd of January is that on the weekend of the 10th and 11th, Doris had a little bit of trouble getting down the garden stairs. I thought it was just because she had an egg up her bum, because usually that's the reason. On the morning of Tuesday the 13th, 3 eggs were laid attributed to Wilma, Doris and Mabel, but Doris still had trouble getting down the stairs afterwards. I picked her up for a cuddle and medical fondle, and her belly felt bloated with liquid. She was acting a lot quieter and more subdued than normal, socialising less and isolating more. She didn't even seem to want to eat seeds anymore. The biggest fans will remember Doris is usually very excited for seeds and goes on epic rants when she anticipates getting some, so this is extremely out of character.
Yeah.
Worried that she had a serious condition called ascites, yes, aka water belly, she went to the vet that evening. The vets found nothing serious, said the liquid is probably just fat or amniotic fluid from having laid an egg, so we went home relieved. Over the next 3 days, Doris did some big wet poos and her belly felt normal again afterwards, but her behaviour did not return to normal. It did improve a bit. Every day she got a little more active, a little more talkative, and she always remained a healthy-looking colour. But she was still uncharacteristically subdued and taking suspiciously long to recover, so I booked her in for another vet outing for today, Thursday the 22nd, with the intentions to do a blood test. But when today came, Doris had taken a big decline in condition. Her colour had darkened a little, but noticeable. But worst of all, her crop wasn't emptying. It was full of fluid. I tried to massage it into her stomach, but it just came out of her mouth, a mix of water, mush and a few seeds. Fans may remember a similar symptom in both Pebbles and Blue.
Yeah.
I gave Doris some apple cider vinegar to break up any blockage and aid digestion, also some anti-inflammatory painkiller, and some very watery formula to give her strength. This perked her up a bit, but only for a couple of hours, during which she had a big drink of water. A couple of hours later, that water still hadn't gone down. At the vet now, overt diagnostic signs could be found, so Doris had an X-ray so we could see what's going on inside of her. What we found was diabolical. A large mass pretty much right in the centre of her body, which is why nobody could feel it by fondling, no matter how professional they are. Possibly an abscess that could be removed by very invasive, expensive and very risky surgery from which Doris might never recover, if she even survived it, or it was possibly a tumour that would have been inoperable. It was not an egg. The vet said he thinks the kindest thing to do would be to let her go. Her new but severe problems taking in food meant that nourishing her and giving her pain relief would become impossible soon if it wasn't already, and she'd just suffer and starve. This was not acceptable. I pride myself on the welfare of any animal under my care, so with huge reluctance I agreed to put Doris down. Doris is dead, and I am sad. I'll be crying for days. 2 weeks ago she seemed fine. It's scary how fast things happen. Or decline, excuse me. Make the most of your pets and loved ones while you've got them, because they could soon be gone. Doris had have been 3 years old in early March. She died way too young, at only 2 years and 10 months old. Speaking of birthdays, though, Wilma and Betty's birthdays are at the start of February. If they don't die before then, they'll be 4 years old. Yeah, well, here's hoping. The other hens are doing well, though. They will definitely be grieving when they realise Doris isn't coming back. She got in their face and annoyed them, but they still loved her, all of them. Mabel knew her from before. Wilma had a playmate in her, and Betty often took strolls with her. Betty also looked after her in recent days as her health declined. Fans may remember that Betty habitually looks after sick hens, and her compassion impresses me every time. Wilma and Mabel have also swapped egg shapes in the last week or two. Mabel's are now elongated, and Wilma's are now round. The couple of eggs I attributed to Doris this week were probably Wilma's. Rest in peace, my little doo-doo. The sanctuary is much quieter without you. We all love and miss you very much. I think she was my mum's favourite.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think of like our animals as like pets and whatever, but they aren't just that. They're little parts of our family that take up big parts in our heart, and losing, no matter what your little critter is, whether it's a chicken or a cat or an iguana, it's still extremely painful.
Yeah.
To lose them, and I'm so sorry that's happened.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that we can do, just tell us.
Yeah. Let's move on to the last comment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one isn't super cheerful to lift our spirits, but it's just that kind of time we're living in at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's from Captain Alces, who says, it's a shame we never got a Wonder Woman series to round out the DCAU Trinity. I would have watched it. It's hard to believe they haven't done anything else with the character on the TV, even though the Linda Carter series was such a hit and lived on in reruns for years. It's strange to me how Warner Brothers can lean so heavily into Batman, for which I am also a hopelessly obsessed nerd, but they have been happy to sit on the fence over other ultra-iconic franchises for decades at a time. Suffering Sappho. You'd think they'd want to make money or something, but apparently not. I guess it just goes to show you stuff. Some kind of stuff or something. I'm losing my point. But that's fine. I should probably focus on how to survive the ice storm of doom about to hit the US. I'm right at the edge of the mass outage zone, so there's a 50-50 chance whether I'll be totally fine or lose all power for days. Big smiley face. I have so many more thoughts, but they're scattered, and I really attacked Luke's vocal cords last time, so I should be nice. Good night, everyone, and I hope you're all safe and well.
Same.
Yeah, don't worry, Captain Alces. You write as much as you like. I mean, you wrote... Even your longest comment is a fraction the size of some of these other ones, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And good luck with the weather, as well as the other storm involving ice.
Yeah. Speaking of that, as an American, I feel it is my duty to tell all of you, I love being an American. I absolutely fucking love it. But right now, I am embarrassed and I am ashamed. Because this is not what I grew up with. This is not anything that my grandparents taught me. This is something completely different. This is stuff that I read in history books that happened 40 years before I was born. And I'm mad in both, in both descriptions of the word. I'm mad. And I am like 5,000 miles away from where I used to live in the States. And I can't do much about it other than talk about it on the internet or, talk to some of my family members about it and all of that. And I am just so pissed off at people that have no idea what is going on trying to police peaceful protests. We live in a world that is horrible sometimes, but sometimes it is the most wonderful thing. And for a really long time in my life, after I moved over here, so about 2009, 2010, the world started to look like it was on the up and up, or even my part of the world. I can't speak for the whole world. And I miss that. I miss having optimism on everything in the world. And I am so sorry that this is happening. If you live in the States and you're affected by this, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It's one thing to say, oh, I didn't vote for this, so-and-so, this person, this representative, this congressperson, this president, this, police chief, whatever. It's another thing to not speak about it and be truthful about it. So my truth is, I'm pissed, I'm mad, and I'm really, really, really ashamed to be an American right now. My solace that I get is from all of you. I can come on here and I can listen to your comments and I can talk to you guys and all of that. And it brings me joy that I don't get in my everyday life sometimes because of everything that's going on. So I want to thank you guys, but I also want to speak my truth. Because if I don't do that, then I shouldn't speak about any of the topics that I'm passionate about. And as an American, it is my duty.
I would just like to end this by reading a note from the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. He's not very popular among certain branches of the world, not just in the UK, but in the US is the point I was trying to make.
Touch his hand.
Yeah, because he is a Muslim man, as mayor of one of the most successful and beautiful cities in the world.
Yes, a Muslim man that was at a Pride event.
Yes,
where I got to touch his hand.
Yes, I know. They tried to paint him as like a radical Muslim that wants to bring in Sharia law, but he's just like a nice little man,
Yeah.
He's just very smiley all the time. He's like, hello.
He's very, very intelligent as well.
But I'd like to read a statement he put out recently. It says, for too long, the immigration debate has been dictated by the hysteria, hatred and fear-mongering of the far right. They paint a dystopian picture of London as a city that has fallen. And let's be frank, they do so because they can't stand what London represents. A city that's diverse, progressive and thriving. Their rhetoric isn't just false, it's cruel, callous and deeply dangerous. That's why we must fight back against this narrative that diversity is inherently bad for our society, and therefore all immigration is too. The drastic fall in legal migration provides a unique opportunity for progressives to reset the immigration debate and to take the public with us. There's a clear path that could allow us to highlight the benefits of immigration, be open about the type and level we need, reject the relentless demonisation of immigrants and the race to the bottom, which is sending shivers of fear through our communities, and ensure people know that we'll always put control, compassion and contribution at the heart of our approach. We should be tearing down barriers to participation in our society and economy, not putting them up. Because true integration is what transforms immigration from a potential source of friction into a driver of economic growth and community cohesion. It falls to us to win this battle of ideas, to make an unapologetically positive case for controlled immigration, to defend a prosperous nation united not by creed or colour, but by a shared faith in fairness and contribution, and to build a Britain big enough to accommodate all of our dreams, bound by the conviction that our best days are still to come. And I think
it's a beautiful sentiment.
It doesn't just apply to Britain, it applies to every country.
And let me be clear with this. If you like any type of comic book character in this modern age, or in the golden age, it's political.
Yes.
And if we read these things and we have certain passions and ethics and values and everything like that in our lives, what justice are we giving those comic book characters that gave us the ability to be able to say, hey, this isn't okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you say comic books, I just want to come here and listen to things about comic books. Well, this is what it is. Just look at Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
And with that, I love all of you guys, and I hope you're safe with the snowstorm and with the other ice. And I love you all very, very much. And you need to know that. I love you all because you bring me joy. And I love you all because you're human beings that are important to me. So have a really good day. And please, please, please protect your peace in a peaceful way.